This is the beautiful country of Malta here in Europe. The place is clean and organized. The Republic of Malta is an island country in southern Europe located in the Mediterranean Sea, between Sicily and North Africa. It consists of an archipelago 80 kilometers south of Italy, 284 kilometers east of Tunisia, and 333 kilometers north of Libya. The two official languages are Maltese and English. The country's capital is Valletta, which is the smallest capital city in the EU by both area and population. It was also the first World Heritage City in Europe to become a European Capital of Culture in 2018. With a population of about 542,000 over an area of 316 kilometers. Malta is the world's 10th smallest country by area and the 9th most densely populated. Various sources consider the country to consist of a single urban region, for which it is often described as a city-state. Malta's long history of foreign rule and its proximity to both Europe and North Africa have influenced its art, music, cuisine, and architecture. Malta has close historical and cultural ties to Italy, and especially Sicily. Between 62 and 66% of Maltese people speak or have significant knowledge of the Italian language, which had official status from 1530 to 1934. Malta was an early center of Christianity, and Catholicism is the state religion. Although the country's constitution guarantees freedom of conscience and religious worship, Malta is a developed country with an advanced high-income economy. It is heavily reliant on tourism, attracting both travelers and a growing expatriate community with its warm climate, numerous recreational areas, and architectural and historical monuments, including 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, Cal Safalin, Hypogeum Valletta, and 7 megalithic temples, which are some of the oldest freestanding structures in the world. The culture of Malta reflects the various cultures that have come into contact with the Maltese Islands throughout the centuries. The islands of Malta are dominated by limestone formations, and much of their coastlines consist of steep or vertical limestone cliffs indented by bays, inlets, and coves. They lie on the submerged Malta Hybline platform, a wide undersea shelf bridge that connects the Ragusa platform of southern Sicily with the Tripolitana platform of southern Libya. The main physical characteristic of the island of Malta is a well-defined escarpment that bisects it along the Victoria Line's fault, running along the whole breadth of the island from Point Ira, Keb near Fam Irik, Bay to the coast northeast of Gargaret, Madliena Fort. The highest areas are coral and limestone uplands that constitute a triangular plateau. Taguta, which rises to 830 feet in the southwest, is the highest point. The uplands are separated from the surrounding areas by blue clay slopes, while an undercliff area is found where the coralline plateau has fallen and forms a subordinate surface between the sea and the original shore. The total shoreline of Malta is about 219 kilometers. In northern Malta, the escarpment is occasionally abrupt and broken by deep implements to the south. However, the plateau gradually descends from about 600 to 830 feet into undulating areas of globigerina, derived from marine protozoa limestone less than 300 feet in elevation. The western area is characterized by deeply incised valleys and undercliffed areas, while to the east there are several valley systems that descend to the central plains. The west coast of Malta presents a high, bold, and generally harborless face. On the east, however, a tongue of high ground known as Mount Sybaris, on which the capital city, Valletta, is built, separates Marsaxet Harbor and Grand Harbor. Because of tectonic activity, Malta has been tilted in a northerly direction, producing cliffs of up to about 800 feet high on the south and southwestern coasts, while slopes descend to low cliffs and rocky shores on the northern and eastern coasts. The landscape of the island of Gozo is characterized by broken upper coralline mesas, with the highest point being Ta Dobiji Hill 636 feet. Gozo has a gentle easterly dip, so the lower coralline limestone, which forms high cliffs on the west coast, declines to below sea level but reappears on the east coast at Calapoint. Semicircular bays have formed on coastal cliffs where sinkholes have been invaded by the sea. The rounded bays at Zlundi and Dwedra on the west coast of Gozo originated as underground caverns with roofs that have collapsed. The island of Malta possesses favorable conditions for the percolation and underground storage of water. The impermeable blue clays provide two distinct water tables between the limestone formations, the perched, and the mean sea level aquifer. The principal source for the public supply of water has for several centuries been the main sea level water table. The absence of permanent streams or lakes and a considerable runoff into the sea, however, have made water supply a problem, which has been addressed with an intensive reverse osmosis desalination program. About half of Malta's daily water needs are supplied by desalination plants throughout the islands. The climate of Malta is typically Mediterranean, with hot, dry summers, warm and sporadically wet autumns, and short, cool winters with adequate rainfall. More than 3/4 of the total annual rainfall of about 22 inches falls between October and March. June, July, and August are normally quite dry. The temperature is very stable, with the annual mean in the mid about 19 degrees Celsius, and monthly averages ranging from the mid about 12 degrees Celsius to the mid-80s F, about 29 degrees Celsius. Winds can be strong and frequent. The most prevalent are the cool northwesterly, the magistral, the dry northeasterly, the griggle, and the hot and humid southeasterly, the zelak or sirocco. The relative humidity rarely falls below 40%. The culture of Malta is reflected in a mixture of Arab and Italian traditions. The Maltese are highly literate and have a deep appreciation of the arts. The Italian painter Caravaggio and the Maltese poet Duncarme are considered major contributors to art and literature in Malta. Malta's cultural influences stem largely from the country's history of foreign domination and the influence of the Roman Catholic Church. Folk traditions have evolved mainly around the festa that celebrates the patron saint of a village, which is marked by processions and fireworks.